What's happening, guys? I just wanted to do one more look at this ATA Venza and the Max 5. I got a new camera, got the GoPro Hero 5 Black, and you can really tell what the gun looks like instead of videotaping it with my iPhone. It's a really good looking gun. Y'all seen my other two reviews probably, so you know how I feel about the gun. Nothing's really changed. The main thing that's irritating about this gun is this little trigger pin right here. It backs out sometimes when you're shooting it. You have to pay attention to that and push it back in there. Besides that, and changing out the spring, which I went over in video number 2, if you're around salt water, that's important because you don't want it to corrode on you. Anyways, in the meantime, since I have bought this gun, I've actually went through a couple of high-dollar shotguns, and I just wanted to give my opinion on that. So I had the Benelli Super Black Eagle 2 that I purchased after I bought this gun. And I was like, I was just getting into shooting, bird hunting and stuff. And I was like, I went and picked up this ATA Venza. It's a cheap gun. And I was thinking to myself, well, maybe if I go get a more expensive one, maybe I'll like it even better. Well, that's not the case. I went and bought the Super Black Eagle 2. I went and shot it. It shot fine as far as hitting what you were aiming at. It does have a raised vent rib, which means it's higher on the back here, on the back side where your sight plane is. It's higher on the Super Black Eagle 2. This vent rib is higher in the back, so it's made for a rising bird. Which if you're hunting anywhere that's close range and the birds are coming up off of the water, then that can be really helpful. That's one thing I do kind of give a point to Benelli on. But besides that, as far as shootability of the gun, this gun right here is a gas operated gun, and the Benelli's an inertia driven gun, so inherently this one's going to kick a little bit less. I mean, it's not a crazy amount, but it does kick a little bit less. It's a little bit easier to shoot. As far as cycling the rounds and all that stuff, I have not had any problems with this gun. So I really don't see the point in spending 3 times the amount of money. Then after that one, I got a hold of one of the new Browning A5s. I sold the Benelli Super Black Eagle 2. I was like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm just going to get rid of it. And so I bought an A5, and it's an inertia driven gun also. One thing I do like about the A5 is when you lock this back like here, or when you get done shooting your last bullet and it locks chamber back, there's a speed load feature where you can push a shell in here and it will automatically load. So that's one thing that I did like about the Browning A5. But what I found was, whenever you're in the field and if you're hunting and it's cold out, you have gloves on, then what happens is when you stick your thumb up in there to load that shell, your thumb gets caught on the little guard there, where that guard is. And let's see, I'll show you. See it right there, where it pushes your shell up. Your thumb gets stuck right in there, especially when you have gloves on. So what I found was that was almost useless when you were hunting in the cold weather. It was useless, so there was no point in having it. And once again, it was an inertia driven gun. I didn't have too many problems with it cycling, but it did choke on a couple of shells, a couple 3-inch regular duck loads. It actually didn't cycle a couple times on me while I was in the field. So I got rid of that one also, and I went back to this one, and I'm just gonna stick with it. Yeah, it's a $540 gun, but I really like it. So anyone who's looking at one of these guns, I would recommend it. One thing that I wish they would do, maybe they'll do it soon, is come out with some choke tubes that fit this, because the choke tubes on this ATA Venza do not match up with any of the name brands out there. The thread pattern is not the same, so you can't get them for it. I think that it might be an option to get on like Briley'sChokes.com, or even like Rob Roberts or one of these custom choke people. I think you may be able to take the choke out, mail it to them, and then I think they might be able to make you some extended choke tubes where then you could just turn them on with your fingers instead of having to use the tool. Not that you're going to need to do it all that much, but you may need to once in a while. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with y'all. If y'all are thinking about, do you buy one like this, or do you go ahead and buy one of the expensive ones? On this, I'm going to say that this cheap gun right here will actually get the job done pretty good. Another thing to point out on the A5, just so y'all know, I took it out one time. One of the very first hunts I did with it, I took it out and it was kind of cold. And whenever I got back, I didn't clean the gun. And it was like 2 days later when I went to clean the gun, and on that Browning A5 there was rust that started everywhere on that gun. I mean, instantly. It was crazy. And it happened in the gun case. The gun case was open, and it happened there. Well, the funny thing is this gun was in the same case. It was a double case, and this gun was right beside it. This gun didn't have any rust on it, and the Browning A5 did. So you spend $500 on a gun, or you spend $1,300 on a gun, you would expect that $1,300 gun to not rust just like this one, or even less. But that wasn't the case. So anyways, if y'all are thinking about buying one, I would recommend it.